I think Ian Chappell was one of the best captains I ever saw. And I think he had lots of important qualities. One was he was very shrewd, and another was he was extremely tough and resilient, sometimes almost to the edge of what one might think one should be, but I think on the whole not. I mean, they were a very aggressive side and a very successful side. He had the good fortune, of course, to have Dennis Lillee come in as a young player under him. And Dennis Lillee was absolutely key to all that Australia did in the 70s and probably the early 80s as well. Well, 70s to just after 80. He was an aggressive captain. He was always looking to make the best of a situation, to take wickets. He had very little. He would have an attacking field if he possibly could. He was shrewd. He was I said he's somebody who makes the best of difficult situations. As a batsman, he would find a way of scoring a single of a good ball, or turning a single into a two. He was resourceful. He once was alleged to have said, he's also humorous, he's once alleged to have said, he was asked what spin bowlers were for, and I believe he said, they're for getting you from 60 to 100 as quickly as possible, which I thought was quite a nice remark. And showed his attitude to spin bowling. I mean, he thought, he often took them on, he hit them over the top. He thought they were there to be hit, really. But he was also a great fighter, and I think he gave up hooking to some extent because he got out too many times. He thought didn't have enough control of it, so he got hit a lot, but it didn't ever disturb him. I tell you, the only drawback to Ian Chappell's captaincy and everyone has drawbacks, by the way. That's another thing to say about captaincy, is that no one's perfect and no one gets the best out of everyone. But I think that there were some people, perhaps more on the fringe or less obviously combative members of the Australian team who possibly felt they couldn't quite go along with the highly antagonistic front that team presented to the world and to the opposition. So I think there were some people who probably felt not quite part of it in a comfortable way. They might have been better off in a team which was more accommodating, more friendly to the opposition, more, I don't mean less competitive, but less obviously combative. And I think he expected, I think he was he was a great believer in getting on with the game, leaving the umpiring to the umpires. He once said that to me, because I indicated that I'd hit the ball into the ground when they appealed against me. He said, Mike, you do the batting, we'll do the bowling and fielding, leave the umpiring to the umpires, which I thought was fair enough. He once, I believe, walked off the field, having been given out caught at the wicket down the leg side off his pad, twice in a match, without anyone on the field knowing that it was a mistake by the umpire, which I also think is admirable. So I think he was very straight, very tough, very shrewd.
Anyway.